Shana Tova umetuka, everyone. My name is Tehran.
Get 'em. You know what it is.
Black and Persian, black and Persian, black and Persian, black and Persian.
And I'm here to make your new year a little sweeter by reminding you just how bitter the past year has been. People love complaining about how terrible the year 2020 has been. They have no idea the roller coaster 5780 has been for Jews. We started this year last September when things were good. We had no idea what was to come. And as Jews, this is our second time around. We're about to finish 5780. We already had one crappy 2020, 3,760 years ago. You think this 2020 was bad? Jewish 2020? You know how bad that was? Ever heard of, I don't know, being slaves in Egypt? How about plagues and locusts? Guess what year circumcision started? That's right. I'm lucky I'm half black. The rest of you, why does it feel like when you're Jewish, every year is 2020? That's why everyone always says oi. Point is, as Jews, we all know what bad years really look like. And while 5780 felt bad, it wasn't as bad as we think. Besides, the Gentiles still have another couple months to go. We're out this biatch. So allow me to recap all the things that have happened over this past year. 5780 was a busy one. It started off wonderful, right? Football stadiums were full of actual people, restaurants had indoor seating, and grocery stores had toilet paper. The only people wearing masks were surgeons and bank robbers. And your boy Tehran had two amazing shows a week at the Laugh Factory every Monday and Thursday, 10 p.m. Shameless promotion. Ah, the good old days. Last year feels like it was just yesterday. If yesterday was 100 years ago and you were stuck in R. Kelly's basement married to Carol Baskin the whole time. October? Kids got to actually go trick-or-treating on Halloween legally. I mean, sure, it's against the religion and all, but at least it wasn't against the law. November, the weather was nice. December, Rabbi Rotenberg still loved his wife and children before being stuck at home with them every single day and every single night. It was even on his bio online. The world was everyone's oyster, if oysters were kosher, but they're not, except at Persian bar mitzvahs. I don't even know how that works. Then January hit. Good old Tavis and Shavuot combo. At least it felt like a combo. Hanukkah, Christmas, Gentile New Year, and rent being due all happened the same week. Let's recap January, shall we? Australia was on fire, the US was going to war with Iran, President Trump impeachment inquiry, locusts invaded East Africa, Philippines had a volcanic eruption, Turkey had a huge earthquake, the first COVID death happened, and this was all just the very first week of January. Talk about a WTF moment. We should have realized then 2020 would suck. 5780, go back to your country. Just to make things worse, we lost a living legend when Kobe Bryant, his beautiful daughter Gianna, and 7 other people tragically lost their lives on January 26th. The world's heart collectively stopped as we heard the horrific news. We were momentarily unified in our grief. People also all of a sudden became helicopter experts and knew exactly what the pilot should and shouldn't have done. This was the first of many careers people would suddenly become experts in this year. February, aka Shavuot and Utter, wasn't great either. Depending on your political views, President Trump was acquitted, several mass shootings, business was down, even the Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy. I mean, no one cared about that, but it still happened. And the first COVID death hit the US. Scariest of all, quarantine hadn't even started yet. So we all had to do Valentine's Day without any excuses. Like, couldn't we have quarantined February 13th so I could have saved a couple $100? No, I don't even remember who I took out where, but I'm sure my bank account does. On to March. Oh, we all know March. We used to love March. Purim, Nowruz, spring, March Madness. Not this year. March was canceled faster than Crystalia at a high school reunion. At first, no one took COVID seriously. White people didn't believe it until Tom Hanks got it. That's when people got sad and knew COVID was real. Not Mr. Rogers, not the guy who saved Private Ryan. So many people were so sad. When I found out Tom Hanks got COVID, I won't lie, I was actually happy. Because now I knew they would definitely find a cure. They're not going to let Tom Hanks die, not Forrest Gump. They're going to save Woody from Toy Story. You understand? If 50 Cent had caught corona, they would have let him die. I don't care how much everyone loved In Da Club. 50 Cent, he got COVID, we wouldn't have heard a thing. But Tom Hanks, I knew they would save Tom Hanks. The black community did not take COVID seriously either. That's why they canceled the NBA. That's when we realized this issue's real. Middle Eastern people, yeah, we don't take anything seriously until 7-Eleven is closed. If 7-Eleven is still open, we good. Oh yeah. On top of that, everyone all of a sudden became a doctor, epidemiologist, and a disease specialist. Persian parents would be so proud. My son is a doctor. Look at his Facebook post. April, May, June, July, August, and the first part of September was all one big super long decade of a month. For 2 weeks. At the beginning, the earth loved us again. There was no traffic, and people were getting punched over Lysol and toilet paper. I had to learn how to cook and clean, basically becoming the housewife my grandmother always wanted me to marry. We weren't allowed outside. No one worked, but we got checks anyway. Social distancing, 6 feet apart. Zoom meetings, no pants. Love it. Life was good and bad at the same time. Basically, COVID was an Orthodox Jewish family. We were never allowed to go outside. If we did, we had to come right back. We all have to cover, and boys and girls aren't allowed to touch anyways. It wasn't that big a difference, but then it happened. Protests, riots, looting. And that was just families over Shavuot Zoom parties. How are you fighting and it's not even in person? You know you can mute them, right? But the protests, riots, and looting did not stay there. The death of several black unarmed civilians by the police, highlighted with the death of George Floyd, led to civil unrest. People of all races spilled into the streets in protest. Some people took advantage of the situation and looted, causing more fear and confusion. As a black person whose life matters, I did protest, but I am very much against the looting. However, as a Persian person, I found myself constantly on Craigslist hoping for good deals. Looting is wrong. Discount prices? Salam! People fighting over right versus left rather than right versus wrong. And all of a sudden, everyone was a civil rights, race struggles, super lawyer expert. Gang wars between blue and red erupted in the streets. And I mean Republicans and Democrats, not Bloods and Crips. Everyone all of a sudden became a political expert too. Amazing how many people can read books merely by glancing at their covers. Let's not forget the WAP dance, TikTok, Tiger King, every parent becoming a homeschool teacher and celibacy advocate. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, murder hornets. Not just regular hornets, but hornets with felony convictions came to town. Oh, 5780 has been one tough year. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, America becomes a dump. Candace Owens, AOC, names we shouldn't know. Kamala's black, let's attack. Jeff Bezos counts a stack. PP loans, Tesla owns, where did airlines go? Wear a mask, don't even ask. Chinese virus gets no pass. COVID-19, stay away. Rona, wash hands every day. Camping shit, give me that. Ben Shapiro gets no wap. Protest, quarantine. Who knew Ellen was so mean? We didn't start the fire. Gender reveal party did. No one cares about the kid. We didn't start the fire. Blame the looters, not protest but shooters. It's okay, I can't sing, but neither can most of you. We're all much more alike than we are different. So this year, all I ask is for everyone to remember, comparison is the thief of compassion. Let's not compare struggles. If we play those games, we will all lose the Victim Olympics. Instead, forget the bad chapters of last year. We have 12 new chapters, 365 pages, and 52 Shabbats to rewrite this year. Good times might make good memories, but bad times make great lessons. Let's learn to love and grow together in 5781. Just because we can't touch each other doesn't mean we can't continue to touch each other's lives. Bad years matter. All years matter. I know. Shana Tova.